No contract is ended without sacrifice. A cost must be paid. Will Ravengard, a choice is before you. Option 1. I show you the way to your father. I guarantee him no harm except that from you and your allies. And you pledge your soul to me and the Archdevil Zariel in a pact eternal. Option 2. I break your pact and you are freed from your duty. Your father dies by his enemy's hand, and Baldur's Gate loses its greatest champion. Name your sacrifice.
Bloody Zariel! I won't let her take Will.
Silence, Karlak.
Mizora, you asshole!
Choose.
You damned wretch! Father. Do it. Break the pact.
Fiat Ita.
Fiat ita, anima ad beator.
Didn't think you had it in you. Seems my boy's all grown up. And don't go fussing about your father. You made your choice. You knew the terms. You know what? I think I'll stick around. Not for the greater good, you understand. Just for the entertainment.
Is that blood? No, never mind.
Gods, I spent 7 years choked by Mizora's leash. And I spent 7 years hoping to break free. I never knew freedom could taste so bittersweet. I have to believe that. I'm not the Hell's puppet in life, nor its warrior in death. The blade will be guiding his own hand. But freedom will be paid in my father's blood. Tomorrow, I celebrate my gain. Today, I mourn my loss.
A moment passes. In the stillness, you find a mote of tranquility.
The Ravengard name now lives solely with me. I will make it count for something. I signed his life away before the Hell's witnesses. It would be easier to drink the sticks down to the last drop than to alter his fate. I'd be a fool to wish otherwise. We obtain the final 2 Netherstones and take back our minds, and the city, from the brain.
Time to press ahead.
Little Will's all grown up. I can't wait to see what trouble he gets into. Impossible. My bargain was uncommonly reasonable. A single soul for the return of Baldur's Gate's most beloved duke. A real bargain, I should think. I never thought the legendary Blade of Frontiers would surrender his father for freedom. Not very valorous, if you ask me. But what does a mean old devil like me know about heroes? The Absolutists worked a number on me at Moonrise. And you're the best hope I've got at payback. No one crosses the Hell's Children without getting scorched. Ugh, you are an inquisitive one. I'd have thought you'd figured by now. Zariel found a new use for an old battle axe. The dead three in that bulging brain of theirs are a threat to more than this trifling city, you know. Savor her company. Who's to say when Zariel might change her mind? My mistress can be so capricious. The 9 hells of Beator. Each its own domain, each with its own archdevil to rule it. I call the first hell my home, Avernus. My mistress Zariel's realm, a torrid battleground split by the bloody waters of the Styx. How I adore it, the delicious agony of it all. The other 8, well, they are pleasures unto themselves. Perhaps I'll show you myself, if I deem you worthy. Correct. I didn't. If you must know, I was scouting the cultists on behalf of Zariel, but those cursed shadows were thick enough to fell even a half-fiend. I woke in that damned pod. It kept my body sealed and my most powerful magic silenced. But a brave, kind, benevolent soul set me free. Gallantry isn't dead after all. Why? I'm supplying Will with every scrap of his infernal power. I've paid my dues many times over. I tell you what, when the time comes to squish that big baddie of a brain, I'll lend you a hand. I'm afraid that's not an option. I'm quite stubborn, you see. Take a swing or a stab if you want, but I'll just slip away for a breather. One of the perks of being a half-devil, of course.
We must claim the crown of Karsus for ourselves, before anyone else does. Time and again, Will's plight reinforces my decision not to pursue the path of a warlock. It's one thing to make such a sacrifice in the pursuit of such a pack, but to do so in order to escape one. Truly, it leaves you with nothing.
Will gave up his father to have freedom. An understandable decision. Sacrifices must be made after all. Especially if the old Duke's fall means his rise.
Of course.
Just the one?
I can't believe Will's given up his soul to Zariel. For a father he fell out with ages ago. There's such a thing as being too good. Someone ought to tell Will Ravengard.
first in my heart.
I received a dispatch from the Grove. Life carries on there in our absence, just as nature intended. My chosen successor, Francesca, has proven to be a wise choice. Perhaps the wisest I ever made as Archdruid. One grand victory may not be enough to absolve a host of small failures. That is where true leadership lies. Not in winning a single vast battle, but in fighting 1,000 smaller ones. Making 10,000 difficult decisions. Finding balance where none seems possible. Day after day. I was all too eager to surrender my responsibilities towards the Grove. Perhaps I was never meant to be Archdruid. To be a leader. As am I. I can scarcely imagine life without your company now. And, of course, I made a promise to help you. One I intend to fulfill. Forgive me. The Shadow Curse occupied me so entirely and for so long. I almost missed the purpose it gave me. Now I must find a new one. I've been unfair to you. I've had unrealistic expectations of your character ever since I joined you. But honestly, you've surpassed even those. Seems my faith was more than well-founded. Will sacrificed his own father. A hard choice, but not one that is unknown in nature. At times, a seedling must strangle the very tree that bore it, if it's to survive.
We cannot allow Gale to go through with Elminster's ludicrous plan. Destroying the Absolute before we fully understand it would be madness.
I brought my own paring knife. Now I just need some ingredients and...
You wish to consult me? I am not on edge. I am alert, as you should be too. Orin could be anywhere. Could be anyone.
Despite her protestations to the contrary, it is clear that Minthara is afraid.
You see through my Minthara mask, pretty little flesh thing. A joke. I am no more Orin than you are. If she is watching, and she may well be, she will delight in seeing suspicion spread among us so quickly. We cannot let that happen. We need to watch over each other, now more than ever. I do not want a devil to hold my fate in his hands any more than a god. I say we put the devil from our minds and trust in ourselves. If anyone should have the power of the crown, it should be us. He is the only authority figure in Baldur's Gate worth a damn. Even as the Elder Brain tears at the foundations of the city, he stands strong and looks for solutions. Better for us to be a solution rather than a problem for his steel watch to scrape off the street. It would be wise to return to him and pledge an oath of allegiance before he declares us enemies of the peace. Yes. I only know it through history books and hearsay. A city of murder and grief. It is already living up to the legend. From the still, dark waters of Lake Donegarten to the black academies of Tierbresh, it is a city of wonders and terror. But it is not my home anymore. If I were to return, I would be denied all of its wonders, and shown only the terror. I am a daughter of Menzoberranzan's most ancient and powerful house, the Bainray. I lived a life of privilege and danger. My home was at the tallest point of Cuel Arzol, the place of the nobles, a plateau high above the city's sprawl. I enjoyed every luxury, whether harvested in the Underdark or stolen from the surface, and I survived my first assassination attempt while I still suckled at my mother's breast. I tasted her blood that day. She covered my body with her own, and a blade bit deep into her chest, almost puncturing her heart. When I came of age, she tried to take my life herself, and I gave her fresh scars to match those she earned protecting me. She taught me to be resilient, and to guard my heart from those who cannot be trusted, literally and figuratively. When I choose to let somebody close, I do not do so lightly. That gives a great depth of meaning to the bonds I do share. He is rather fond of himself. If he truly intends to be the savior of Baldur's Gate, perhaps he has reason to be. Even if I personally faced down the army of the Absolute and drove it from the city single-handedly, I would not be welcomed as a savior. No matter what I do, the people of Baldur's Gate will always see me as an enemy. I agree. What matters is that they respect us and fear us. When we have all three Netherstones and control the Elder Brain, all of Faerun will have reason to fear us. A disparate collection of vagabonds and strays. Did you have anyone particular in mind? She is intelligent, strong, and capable as both a leader and a fighter. An impressive woman. It is a shame that she devotes all of her talents and experience to the futile cause of the Harpers. Their devotion to preserving balance is pathetic. It is precisely because they are perceived as good that they are so dangerous. Their intentions do more harm to the world than any warmonger could. They fear change and would rather maintain mediocrity than face the risks and challenges that progress demands. I would rather break the world and build it anew than be satisfied with its imperfections.
I did not know Duke Ravengard that well, but I am sure he would not want his son to become slave to Zariel for his sake. I am sure Will knows that, but we would do well to remind him when his days grow dark. Hope. The very hook from which these devils try to hang us. I have no answers. For you or for Will. But if Mizora means to linger with us, I mean to find out if devils do indeed sleep. And just how heavily. Ask it. You speak of a battle more than a century past. Baal's minions led us through a maze in the Undercity, older than Baldur's Gate itself. We paid little mind to the path ahead, let alone how we might return, or that we would return at all. Still, the Undercity shifts. We might search down there. Or better yet, find a ballast to lead us.
You smell very delicious. Ooh, more.
Hope you're keeping well, friend.
Come to bask in the glow of the Moon Maiden's sword? Be most welcome. I am free from my bonds, but not my duty. The dead 3 are risen. The dead 2 remain. You must face them. I will help.
Keeping very well, I hope? Look after my angel, of course. She's been through more than I can bear to think about. 100 years in the Shadowfell. 100 years being murdered by Sharans over and over. It fills me with a rage I can hardly contain. She's a formidable woman, my Aelin. But no one could escape such horrors unscathed. She's in my hands now, and I intend to help her through whatever's to come. We'll both of us stand by you when the time comes to put down the horror that threatens this city. We are your allies, for life. I mourn the man I knew. He was wonderful. He raised me to serve Selûne as my mother, rest her soul, had wished. He was everything to me, all my life. When an emissary of Selûne came to our little town, we were elated. Dame Aelin, daughter of the Moon Maiden herself. This was different. It was like I could see my fate in her eyes. Lucky for me, she felt the same way. But my father was skeptical. Aelin is immortal, after all. I understand it's strange. There's an imbalance between us, certainly. But I suppose loving Aelin felt the same as loving myself. It was natural. Then... and this is where I still need answers. I died. I'm not sure how, why, but all was black. Next I knew, I was being jolted awake. I smelled musty air, I saw shadows. And then my father's face. So changed. So hideously warped. He told me we'd be together now. Said Aelin was dead. I couldn't speak. Could only run. I found last light within the shadows. Made a shelter there. Prayed my father wouldn't find me. By the time Jaheira came, I'd pieced together just enough to know I'd been dead 100 years. That my father was the source of the horrors that plagued my home. He's gone now. But I suppose the man I knew died when I died. The man he became, that wasn't the father I knew. The one I loved so very much.
Here goes nothing.
Alan says I have to what? I'm sorry, I didn't know we had God's damned royals staying with us. Can't this wait till morning? Oh, fine. Right, you. Food? Supplies? What do you want? Uh-huh. Because people order from the kitchen in the dead of night to be polite. Now, what you want? Enjoy your night.
How did you? Oh, it's you. I must have let my mind wander. Enough for you to wander in. Forgive me. I am drained. Ever since you killed Ketherick and took his netherstone, the Chosen's control of the brain has been brittle. Its rebellion against Orin and Gortash has been fierce, even as it executes their final orders. Once those orders are complete, there is a good chance it will break free.
You feel the Emperor's fear as if it were your own. An Elder Brain enslaved is one thing. An Elder Brain unleashed will be the end of everything.
Beautiful, isn't it? The mighty Prince Orpheus, contained in submissive slumber. Come. You may as well sit a while, now that you are here. Your company isn't unwelcome. An accurate summary. I have found myself distracted of late. I'm haunted by memories. They are relentless. I can think of nothing. No one else. The very same Duke Stelmane, as she was known in Baldur's Gate. You thought you were my first ally. Far from it. I have long sought the allyship of others. It is the only way to succeed. Though my relationship with Berlin was different from my relationship with you. In life, she was my business partner. Back when we ran the Knights of the Shield. A difficult task for a mind flayer. Duke Stelmane trusted me, and the city trusted her. I conceived the plot, but Berlin took center stage. It was she who met with the merchants, politicians, and patriarchs. It was she who negotiated deals and signed off on agreements. Her rooms played host to the most important conversations in the city. Together, we brought order to chaos. At its height, everything that happened in that city went through the shield. through us. I could not have done any of it without her. Just as I cannot do any of this without you. But now, she is gone. I appreciate the offer, but I don't think it will help. What I feel is deeper than superficial cures can reach, and not entirely unwelcome. Most people think that mind flayers are soulless husks who feel nothing. I am glad you are not most people. Another quake. The brain is rebelling again. I need to focus, and so do you. What I feel is deeper than... Another quake. The brain is rebelling again. I need to focus, and so do you.
The dog is unable to speak through the small bag he holds in his mouth.
I don't know. Maybe you can tell me. All I know is I thought of you when I saw it.
Fate, dost thou require a new ally? Very well. Impossible. As thou choose.
You smell very delicious, but I will not bite you.
And these things have stayed interesting.
Fate, dost thou require a new ally? Then thou must return with the... This is the price of balance. Well, can... I do and dusk I strike thy name. Right.
So that's progress. Just what I need.
Gods, you're beautiful. Well, obviously I would. Excellent.
So, the devil himself is pursuing the crown. As for whether it's truly the crown Carsus forged, well, I think it's safe to assume we shouldn't take anything Raphael utters at face value. We must claim the crown of Carsus for ourselves, before anyone else does.
Don't waste a step.
Days like this almost make me miss the merchant train. Or maybe he did.
Why can't we just barter on trust?
Account holders only from here. Vault pass? Right. Descend and know. Upon entering the vaults, you forego the protection of city and church law alike. Which is to say, keep to your own vault and you'll be fine.
Don't touch me.
What makes you say that? Word is the Ongean Guild is down tools and gone walkabout.
And I'm not kidding with your Graskin. Joaquin skills. I suck.
Much more.
I would smite them all. If I didn't have
fix those. You don't need to worry.
That means Gil's gold. Nothing he can report still.
You need to get wise, young one. Stay awake.
On my way. On the hunt. Moving. Very well, then.
Pulling a late one tonight.
Why?
Half that crowd up there ain't getting their coin. Some will go quietly out the front door.
And some will go out with a strong hand up there, right?
That might be as strong as a bugbear.
Something over there.
I'd probably just break your jaw for asking.
Look at all these fools. What are they pulling their money for? Mark the notice in the barrels. I'm really strong, but I bet an ogre is stronger.
You ever seen anyone actually raid this place?
Nah, none of us have.
What? It's never been robbed?
If it has, I doubt the guards get to stick around to tell about it.
Mind your manners down here, sir. Titles don't mean much once you're in the vault.
Just need to see your vault pass, please. Looks in order. Blessed day to you.
Quick step. Let's prowl. Step carefully. Let's have it. Let's be quick.
Please refrain from entering until a staff member has opened the way for you.
Still breathing, despite everything. How much farther can I go? What's up for discussion?
This vessel is at thy disposal. Do what?
But the vessel only stares blankly.
This soul.
shouldn't have wished to live in more interesting times. Need to find a way forward.
Please wait here. A staff member will retrieve your items.
Let's get going. One day I'll catch a break. Maybe it'll bring us closer.
Is there something you want to talk about, my dear? Perhaps if you lost a excellent.
Don't mind if I do. No traps, please.
It's still moving.
Hush your fussing. Nine Fingers had this one made especially. A little mouthful will barely slow it down.
But the stories...
Stories. Tall tales and big names, lad. Don't let them fool you. Elminster the Archmage. Drist the Drow Exile. Heroes have power, aye, but not half so much as we do. A little coin into the right purse. A soft word in the right ear. It's not glory that spins these plains, lad. It's gold. See? Now. Morrigan's cracked clay.
There is no gold in here! If there is one thing Minsk hates more than beasts with bad breath, it is those who are tricksome with the truth. And turnips. But you are no turnip. Let that be of comfort in your final moments.
That's the Minsk Jaheira's been searching for. Good gods.
You. The Absolute has shown me your face, villain. I will beat it into a more pleasing shape!
Enough play, Stone Lord. The Absolute has other plans for this one. Nine Fingers set a poor trap, little banker. Let the Absolute's faithful show you how it is done. Now come, Stone Lord. We have the gold. And the Absolute has need of it elsewhere.
As you say, Jaheira.
First they take Jaheira's friend, and then they take her face. Oh, she's going to hate that.
Incommodo!
Impero.
Wonder if the gods are watching me. That should work. On my way. And away I go.
Let's find some prey.
waste a step. Can't risk being in open view. This calls for careful footwork.
Time for a new approach.
Need to find a way forward. Let's have a look.
I'll just help myself.
Money in the end, anyway.
Easy.
Hells, if I'd have known there was that much gold back here, I'd have robbed the place myself.
Breathe. And switch bloody jobs.
What do you think you're... Oh, cool. What bloody difference does it make? Good on you, mate.
All right.
Maybe Nina still needs a crackstone.
What have we here?
first time the vault's been breached the entire time I've worked here.
Fine.
You were unable to speak.
Still catching my breath.
You can tell not. Wait. You're no guild sworn. Who are you? You're missing your motley, Jester. We softened our defenses to lure that bastard in. Nine Fingers wants the Stone Lord dead. With what he cleared from our vaults, he's got enough gold to make himself a lord in truth. Funny that. I don't give a damn about him, but I care very much where the coin went. As chairman of the Fellowship of Financiers, I can assure you we'd reward you well for the return of the coin he took. Not for us, you understand. For the common Baldurian. Who knows what he's planning to do with it? Try all of it? Every penny of civilian lodgings, anyway. I mean, not like we'd lead him into the private vaults, but still. A lot of Baldurians waking up poor tomorrow. What he can do with that kind of coin doesn't bear thinking about. Good for you. I happen to care a very great deal. Retrieve the coin, and I'll make sure you are well rewarded. There's treasures greater than gold. Feel free to poke around this place and it'll help you pick up the Stone Lord's scent. Me, I've got ledgers to amend. I hope you've come to make a lodgment. A city-sized one? And not even a whisker light. God, you're a boring bastard. Me too, I suppose, because I'm not even tempted to scam you. Take this vault key. You'll find something by way of thanks inside. Wait a minute, though. I can shift next year's interest to this year.
Yes, please.
So Minsk has turned to the Absolute. Maybe there's something to this culture.
breathing. Despite everything, always room for more. Another step forward.
Speak. Slarning shape changers. And of course, the fool would follow their every word just because they wear my face. I grow tired of these false faces. Every corner we turn, another. And now it is my face they use to turn Minsk against us. I am sorry, but I am just tired. Bastard. When I left Minsk to this fate, I believed I had no choice. I believe it still. We were ignorant of our enemy, unarmed against the cult. I made the right decision, but I do not like how easily I made it. Minsk would have never left me behind, no matter what happened. That is his problem entire. The past century left Minsk unchanged. And so he believes the world has never changed, that I have not. You saw the fool, hanging on the doppelganger's every word for no other reason than it wears my face. You think I flatter myself in believing it is my face alone that Minsk follows? Mahler mark me, but I find myself hoping he is that bold. Come then. We need a lead on where these shapeshifters have fled to. Let's see what hints they left behind in the vault. Yes? Of course. You're no true Baldorian unless you've sloshed around in the slurry after all. The Undercity is perilous. But I recall Minsk making a home down there in the old days. To plant his boot on the very bosom of evil. Or some such. I'll mark an entrance, I know. From there, we shall just have to follow our noses.
Enough sitting around. Let's go.
delightful. Tread lightly. What's in here?
The corpse remains silent.
Be brief. What are we here?
Trap. Be cautious.
A crooked touch.
Whatever it's called.
Neither seen nor heard.
Ah, you finally come. Have you retrieved the Orphic hammer? Will our prince's chains finally be broken? The remaining honor guard serve as my eyes and ears. Vlaakith's forces hunt you and the prism. My allies have slayed more than you know, so that you might travel freely. As for those that break through, you've proven more than capable of bleeding them yourself. I will wait here until you have. The chains that bind Orpheus also bind the whole of the Githyanki people.
Have to keep going.
How delicious. Should be easy.
That might be worth a look.
That's curious.
Something over there.
Certainly.
What's that?
That water looks tainted. Better to avoid it.